very good evening to all our friends right here. Welcome down to the Wisma Geylang Serai, where right here we're having the virtual CC right here brought to you by the Geylang Serai Community Center. So what we have right here for today is actually the third series of the cryptocurrency program that we're having right here. And of course, today itself is actually a very, very special time because just yesterday alone, we have been seeing a lot of very, very special things that's happening in the scene, which is the world's second biggest cryptocurrency called Ethereum spiking at a very, very great height. So this actually interests you, do stay tuned right here because today we are doing something very special and different where we are giving you two types of different prizes. So yes, my name is Hui Jie, and today I'm very honored to actually bring to you a lot of exciting news right here. This week, something really, really special happened because we are talking about things like having dogecoin going at the spike, at the same time Ethereum going at a spike as well, right after Bitcoin. And of course, right here for this program itself, we would like to bring to you a series of different type of items where you can learn about business finance and of course personal finance, while at the same time grow your wealth during the money mastery journey. So this program actually aims to create awareness, and of course would like to also share with you on how you can become future ready, because right here in Singapore we aim to be the world's and of course Asia financial and business hub. So with that right here, to better outreach to all our residents and of course all the friends right here, what you can do is always to interact with us. And meanwhile, today itself we would like to share with you a lot of information and of course the infotainment item as well, where you can learn how to grow yourself. So right now, let's take a look at the screen where we'd like to share with you some of the disclaimer. So once again, welcome down to Wisdom Eye on Business Money Mastery Show. And right here, the third series, we would like to bring to you the last series of the cryptocurrency before we move on to the next exciting item called REITs, which is called the Real Estate Investment Trust. So let's take a look right here for the disclaimer first. So this program is actually information purpose only and should not be constructed as recommendation for purchase, sales, subscribe or participate in any services or products. And before acting on the information provided, please consider if it suits your objective and risk tolerance. Should you need professional advice, do consult the MAS registered of representative list. And if you need more information and also resistance and assistance, what we can do is to refer to you a qualified professional for your consideration. So with that right here for today, we would like to share with you a very, very special guest. So this special guest is none other than Mr. Andy Lian, where he is the advisory board member of Hyundai DAC and a book author called The Blockchain Revolution 2030. Although it sounds like a little bit far away, but actually it's just about 9 years away. And if you want to know what is the future about blockchain, right here for today is definitely the best chance. And of course, being exposed to the international world, he's actually also the member of the Korea Special Blockchain Committee, and of course also blockchain advisor for the Asian Productivity Organization. And he was the former GM of Singapore Business Federation and the former director of Singapore Institute of International Affairs. So as you can see that this is someone that is really internationally and globally exposed. And right here, please join me to welcome Mr. Andy Lian.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. Let's talk about what we want to talk about today then.
What we want to talk about today, I think you should first introduce yourself first. I've said so much about you. I think the guests and the audience want to know more about you as well, right?
Sure. So before we go into the detail, so a bit introduction about myself. So I started the journey in the blockchain space in about 2016. So I started my own company, which is a supply chain blockchain company.
Yep.
And then very soon after, I joined the government, joined this Asia Block Productivity Organization, which is like a UN-like organization. We service and provide expert knowledge to 22 countries.
Yep.
So this is how it was. And then right now, of course, I'm more known to be providing advisory to Hyundai DAC.
Yeah.
That is the very famous car brand, of course.
Yeah, we certainly know Hyundai.
Correct. So
yeah.
I look after the tokenization portion and also the governance for their coin. So this is who I am. Other friends in Singapore might know me from my earlier work, from the oldest think tank, for example, SIIA, and then also with the Singapore Business Federation.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm also a serial entrepreneur, and also more like an investor as well. So I look at medical related stuff in the past, and I'm also looking at technology stuff, right now. So this is who I am. Most of the time I'm not in Singapore. Being a Singaporean, I'm not in Singapore. So this whole year I am stuck, and I would say I'm very dedicated to be in Singapore, just to share my knowledge with some of our friends and so forth. So let me know, what you like to talk about, what the audience would like to know. I'm happy to tell them the more realistic side of things to the cryptocurrency scene. Not so much of a fluff and so forth. Just ask me anything, what you want to look at, what you want to invest. Although again, I would say that I'm not giving any financial advice, but I would share my personal opinion with everyone that is live right now, and also with you, Wendy.
Certainly. Yeah, sure. So that's indeed pretty exciting. But right before we actually start to talk about things like DAC and all that, would you mind to share, for some of the audience who are not very familiar with the blockchain space and all that, Hyundai is always known as a car company, right? So what is DAC? What does that stand for?
I think in a very simple terms, DAC, we are looking at the digital asset. So Hyundai is of course, it's a car brand, reputable car brand, but a lot of big companies are into blockchain. A lot of the big companies are already investing into blockchain infrastructure. And the more advanced ones, they are looking into cryptocurrency. As we all know, bigger boys like PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, and so forth. They all have Bitcoin in their balance sheet. So big companies moving into the space right now is actually a trend, but it's no longer new. So I think having a big company doing that, having a big company moving into the space right now is no stranger. Same goes for Hyundai. Right.
Yeah, I'm certainly aware of. Actually, I also heard that Temasek do have some exposure and also portfolio in the blockchain space, right, as well, right? So I think that the world is actually going something pretty much exciting in this space as well. And do you know that, just a little bit of tips, is Hyundai going into electric cars and vehicles? Since, like EVs are such a big term right now in the world.
I'm not into the EV space, but if you read the news, yes, they are in the EV space. So keep a lookout, for that. I can't speak on the whole group's behalf, but definitely on the news, they are going into that.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you so much for the insights. So right now, let's take a look at the screen once again. In fact, actually, for today itself, right, we are really honored to have Mr. Andy Lian right here. And I do know that he actually traveled really a lot overseas. Previously, he had some exposure in Japan as well, and also has some projects that is in China and all that. And today, if you do have any questions and all that, do feel free to ask us. If not, if you think that you would like something to have a better advice and all that, feel free to also drop us an email as well. And in fact, for today, right, we actually have a very special thing. Andy, would you like to share with me what is the prize that we're giving out right here for today for our guests?
I think for those people who are asking the right question and is being picked by us, you will be given some cryptocurrency. Not much. I can't remember the exact amount. It could be $5 times 10, which is what it was, or it could be a $10 times 5. So let's look at how the whole response is like on the live channel.
Yeah.
And then from there we will make a decision. That small amount is not for you to be very happy about it, but it is a small token for you to understand how the whole cryptocurrency work. You know, if it grows in value, you're lucky. You know, if not, use that to buy a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So today itself, since we are doing a small little recap about blockchain and cryptocurrency and all that, of course, we want to make it something different. So for the past two series, we are giving out three so-called prizes for all our lucky winners. But for today, we are giving out from 5 to 10, yeah? So if you'd like to win yourself with all these prizes, for today itself, we'll be instantly releasing all the prizes to you. What you need to do, first and foremost, to like and share this video. And at the same time, do drop us the question if you have something to ask us as well, okay? So right now, let's move on to the next thing right here, which is the key highlight for today, the cryptocurrency itself. What are some of the hypes, reality, and opportunity, okay? And just now we mentioned things like the Ethereum that is moving really, really high. And let's take a look at what is happening recently, in fact, just yesterday alone. So for those who are not familiar with cryptocurrency, for information, Bitcoin, everyone definitely knows about it. And the second one that we are talking about right here, the second largest cryptocurrency is called Ethereum, or as a short form called Ether. And Ether, last year during the lockdown period, it used to be about $100 over only, right?
Yeah.
Around 100 plus, right? And
200
just
plus.
200 plus and 100 plus, around that kind of a range. And right here for today, in fact, just 1 year right after the lockdown period, which is our circuit breaker, now is hitting at US dollars $3,000. So Andy, what do you think about Ethereum, and why is it getting so much of attention, especially hitting things like Bloomberg's main page, and it also hit the timeline as saying that it will take over so-called Bitcoin and stuff like that. So what's happening at the world right now?
Sure. Ethereum or ETH or Ether is not something new. You know, they are one of the old guard in terms of cryptocurrency. As we speak right now, I think the price is about 3,400 and above, right? It's no longer 3,000. So why has it jumped so much? I think there are a few factors. Factor number one is there's going to be new development within the Ethereum network. You know, shifting from a POW to a POS. That's number one. Number two, as you can see, the grayscale trust for Ethereum has grown significantly. The numbers based on last year until now, you know, you are looking at billions of dollars, you know, into the Ethereum network. Is Ethereum going to take over BTC in the shorter time frame? I think in terms of per coin price, I don't really think so. But if you look at it from a market cap perspective in the longer run, I think it will. You know, there are also people who are just complaining, you know, or maybe trying to project themselves, you know, as an Ethereum alternative. And they might say that, you know, Ethereum's gas price is increasing, the price is way too high to make a transaction, so forth and so on. But in my opinion, high price right now has a certain value to it because there's a big following. The price, in fact, has dropped in terms of the gas fee, and it will drop further when you see the POS happening on the Ethereum network. You will also see the price drop when there are more layer 2 working hard to speed up the whole Ethereum, or to also look at putting up more bandwidth on the Ethereum network. So that is one reason why Ethereum is in the limelight. You know, I'm not going to be projecting in terms of how the price is going, but a few days ago, I think 2 days ago, I placed a post on my social media platform.
Yeah.
If my friends were to catch that post, you know, right now I think they should have at least earned about $600 per token.
I see.
That's about 2 days ago. So all these things happen for a certain reason. All these things also happen because of how the consumer look at it, right?
Yeah.
So with the support from the institution, with the support from the retail investors and so forth, the price has gone up. In fact, I think it's okay. Going up is fine as long as there are people still using it. There is liquidity. They can go up as high as they want, for Ether.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I'm pretty sure. But that actually do affect businesses. You know what happened, Andy? Like just today, surprisingly, somehow or other, I was actually having a client meeting. And one of my friends actually runs a company that is handling the health care cert. So for those who are not familiar, Singapore is actually moving towards this thing called the healthcare cert, where every single person after vaccination, you'll actually be registered on a blockchain as well. Okay? Yeah, indeed, that is really happening in Singapore. So what happened is this company is actually a selected vendor by the government, which is under IMDA itself, and they're supposed to actually be doing some development work on the Ethereum blockchain system. But as you know, every single time when we need to do some development work on Ethereum blockchain, we have to pay the so-called miner, right? There's some mining fee to be paid and all that. And today itself, he actually just told me that, hey, do you know that anyone that is having some Ethereum that can spare? Because suddenly I need to do some work on this testing and I need some Ethereum. But right now the price is like so high and my budget was like, just example, $1,000. But right now, due to the spike in the entire Ethereum itself, is currently costing me like $10 over $1,000. So what do you think about this kind of situation? Does that really helps in terms of business and all that? Or how should people like developers or people who are really running genuine business on blockchain, should they be still sticking on Ethereum or something else?
Sure. I think, again, this is going to clear some of these myths and some of these thoughts, uncertainty in the market.
Yeah.
The reason why Ethereum went up in price and why the gas fee is there is because of a certain value behind the whole Ethereum network.
Yep.
There's liquidity, there's business, the whole ecosystem is supporting itself.
Yeah.
That's why the price has gone up. The reason why the price has gone up is also dependent on the whole demand and supply, right?
Yep.
So right now, I think if we move towards the POS model, and we move towards the towards beefing up the whole layer 2, I think again the price will go down. But it will not be what your friend has budgeted before. So I've told this to many people, including some of my colleagues at the Asian Productivity Organization. 2 years ago, they told me that, hey, there's one project, they wanted to do certification, authentication, kind of thing, for all their members.
Yep.
At the end, they have chosen a Singapore-based company that is doing all this certification on the Ethereum network. I was a very strong voice. I told them, do not use it, because sooner or later, each certificate that you authenticate is going to be expensive.
Yes,
All right.
agree.
So
Yeah.
this goes back to when the fact that when someone wants to get into a blockchain project, do they have the foresight to understand what is going to happen?
Yeah.
If they understand what's going to happen, they will not make this mistake right in the beginning. That's how I see it. So I do love to say that we have to understand what each blockchain can provide and why you want to get into that blockchain. So for your friend, you just can forget about it. Either he's changed his strategy, change the
Protocol.
chain, or find a replacement, or there are many other ways to go about doing it. All right, but this should not be the fact why he should give up on the whole project, because to be real honest, he's the one who chose the Ether as the chain to use. Ether has its own benefit. He has to see that as well.
Yeah.
So he has to find a solution out from this. Borrowing other Ether or borrowing money to solve his current problem is not going to solve. You get what I mean? Today he borrow maybe $10,000, $20,000. But what if the Ether's price in the next month before he launched become 10,000? What is he going to do, right?
Yeah.
So I think being a project owner and also being supported by the Singapore government, he has to find the right knowledge to path out his way. The Singapore government as well should also play their part to make sure that all these enterprises are given the right knowledge. I think this is something that the Singapore government or the Singapore environment is not doing well on that, to be honest. We are very far behind on developments like this. You know, we kept talking about a Wubin project, or if you talk to some of the maybe association friends or friends from the stat board and so forth, the things that they are talking about are very, very theoretical, very theory kind of information. That is not going to help, because if they have not put their hands into the space, you know, have not got hurt from the space, have not win and get money from the space, they will not understand how this whole structure is going to be like. And when things change in a more rapid manner, they can't cope. You know, like I say, you know, if Ether were to increase in price to about $5,000, I believe he would be very, very, very anxious. You know, what is he going to do, right? So he has to find his own solution. How he's going to do it. Don't give up on Ether. You know, things will change in the longer run.
Yeah, that's indeed something that is so real that is happening in our daily life. And for those who are not familiar with Ethereum and Ether, basically it's actually the second largest coin. And at the same time, Ethereum actually came with a very special feature, which is an open source type of platform where anyone, any developer can actually develop something on it, something like a WordPress where you can create yourself a free website. And Ether actually starts from a free ERC20 token where you can actually build on it. But right now, due to the price, spike and all that, it actually causes a lot of, I would say, difficulties for people to continue their project, or if not, they have to find an alternative solution. So with that is also some of the situation that is really happening in the blockchain space. So Andy, what do you think that Singapore should do while we are actually moving towards like Asia's business hub, you know, Asia's tech hub? We're trying to be the Asia Silicon Valley and all that. What should the blockchain and cryptocurrency space be like in Singapore? We do have like DBS being the first mover as the Singapore and the world's first bank that is doing a digital exchange. What else do you think that the tech space or the startup space, or if not the SME space, can do?
I think, you know, I want to be Superman, I want to be president and so forth. It's not, it's just what you want, you know. But in the reality, if you talk to the Singapore projects, many of them do not really understand what's happening. You know, let's break this down. You know, SMEs. You know, they kept thinking that the blockchain is the best place where they could maybe get some new funds. All right. But if you want to get some new funds, and then you look at your own business right now, it's in a mess. You know, how is a new fund going to come in? So they will say, don't worry, I will change my business plan just to get the fund. This kind of mentality is not going to work. Another group of them will say that, oh, it's okay. I would get some grants from the government. Like yesterday, I have a friend formerly from one of the leading exchanges. She said she's going to do an NFT marketplace. You know, he's going to get a grant from our Singapore government. You know, 500,000 kind of. I look at it, I was like, this is not going to be sustainable, because all these grants is going to be useful when you have a solid business plan. All right. Then the Singapore government can help you to push. But of course, you know, as we all know, out of maybe 1,000 projects, they might only support one or two. You know, really wholeheartedly support one or two. Some of them, of course, they will give some smaller funds. They will give some smaller money, seed money, just to push things across. But everything else, you should rely on yourself. All right. So if your business idea is good, if your business idea is solid enough, what I would think for SME is to get a good business case. If they do not have a good business case, do not enter the blockchain space, because it's going to waste our time, you know, your time, and it's also giving blockchain space a very bad name. So this is something that I do not want to see, okay? So SMEs should relook at their business model, you know. Maybe about 2 years ago again, you know, I was hosting a round table, and then one of the Singapore biggest pet business owner was there. So I'm not going to quote who, but you can imagine who he is. So I think you know like a business like that, they can actually use the cryptocurrency as a form of loyalty points. All right, then that could really enhance their business, right? And then have this whole element where the pet's medical certificates or the pet's medical examination results are actually on the blockchain. You see, that is actually a use case and a very proper purpose, right?
Understand.
But then if today, another real example, a bubble tea shop who wants to automate the bubble tea dispensing, for example, want to use blockchain to collect data, to make payment. To me, well, it's still not a bad idea. But the thing is, it is not as easy to execute as compared to what the pet or animal chain can do, because the effect is very big, right?
Yeah.
And then some other people like engineering company whom I talk to, they say, oh, because I have a lot of engineering parts, I want to blockchain all the parts so that my workers can keep track of which part is which part and the parts are real. Then that kind of project, I think, forget about it. How are you going to blockchain everything and track everything? So I think it is more towards the purpose. If the purpose is there, I think you should go for blockchain. If the purpose is not there, forget about it. Same for cryptocurrency. If you are just using cryptocurrency as a form of payment, and you are going to tell everyone that this is an amazing thing. Now you can use cryptocurrency to buy my coffee. Then I think forget about it, because that is not a great business idea. That's just an add-on enhancement. PayPal, once they come in big, that's it. Or Nets. Once they come in big, you're gone, right? But you got to catch up with times. Like right now, when I'm in Singapore, I just unsubscribed my YouTube premium. So I started to see a lot of new ads and so forth. I realized that there's a very nice something like the paying app that is in the market right now. Again, those kind of education message should be good. But if you can add on a certain element of technology, a certain element of cryptocurrency in it, then I think you're more forward-looking. If not, you're doing things that WeChat Pay has been doing for the last 10, 15 years, right? So I think you've got to catch up with times, all right? Catch up with times for the SMEs. For the larger SMEs, they should really think properly. Is it worthwhile adding on a blockchain element on it? I think in my book and in some of the interviews that I have, I actually list down what are some of the criteria, for your business to have in order to even consider blockchain. So this should be carefully thought of, and you have to seek the right kind of expertise to give them the right advice. Try to read yourself and try your very best. Do not just depend on what that consultant is going to tell you, because that consultant might not be the right consultant, right? The consultant during the fintech times, they are fintech consultant. During the apps time, they are the apps consultant. So I mean, it's good to move with times, but that kind of advice might not be the best for your business. So you got to find the right kind of knowledge, read up yourself before talking to them, and if need be, perhaps give a light challenge. Ask them back some questions, because many of which are not making sense. So don't waste your money on unnecessary consultation.
I recall back then, during the Bitcoin ICO hype, for those who are not familiar, it's actually called the initial coin offering, where it's something like going listed, on the stock exchange kind of stuff. There were people who charged consultancy for like 500,000, $500,000, or even $1 million as consultancy.
True.
So just now, what we have shared in terms of consultancy is, in fact, for SMEs in Singapore, if you're thinking to actually adopt blockchain technology, what you can do is actually is supported under this thing called the Enterprise Development Grant, where you can look into things like productivity and innovation, where you build digitalization into your business. So right now, let's take a look at the screen once again. We'd like to share with you another item right here, which is what we have talked about previously. So Andy, what happened is actually last week we were talking about this thing called the dogecoin. So you know what happened? Just on the day that we did the show, so as you can see on the left-hand corner, we have the price of the dogecoin at around 0.30 over cents. Okay, and that was actually on Sunday where we did the second series of the program. So dogecoin was actually kind of one of the most favorite item token in town, and it's the most hit in town because Elon Musk actually called himself the Doge father. So he's like kind of like endorsing this project itself for his name. And in fact, just right here at this Saturday itself, we will also know about his show, which is called the Saturday Night Live, where he will be talking about how live is the Dogecoin. So since last Sunday and today itself, right, in fact, the price is already increased for about 10 over cents. That's indeed quite crazy, yeah? So what do you think, what is Dogecoin all about, and will it really hit the hype on this weekend itself?
If you look at the current screen right now, it's at 40 cents and a market cap of about 54 billion. Right now it's about 50 cents and perhaps about 90 billion around there, you know. So it has jumped a lot, you know. Again, friends who have benefited from it at a very low price at 0.0 something, you know, definitely are very happy about this. But you got to see, you know, how the whole overall movement is like. Because for Dogecoin, if you really understand the coin, there is no CEO, there's no team, there's run by community and controlled perhaps by a few bigger groups of whales and so forth. All right, so
whales.
so I think, you know, whether the Dogecoin is going up, I think, you know, there's still some room to grow, but it's not healthy to keep going up, you know, for a coin like that, because, you know, in previous interviews that I have, you know, I did mention that, you know, if a Dogecoin can be sort of manipulated to the current state, you know, into a top 5 at times, top 10 coin, you know, it means that everyone else can do that, right? So the hype behind it is definitely there.
We just need to find another Elon Musk.
There's only one Elon Musk. So Elon Musk being the sort of CEO for the coin, and his push on Twitter does really help a lot. But he is just one factor. The rest of the factors are actually all the bigger groups, you know, like Wall Street bets and so forth, where they, you know, they collectively work together to push the price up. So does it have a brighter future? Yes, there's 100% room to grow, but just be very careful, because, you know, all this cryptocurrency buy, be it Dogecoin or be it any other coins, they are riskier. All right, they are very risky. Will the next weekend be another Dogecoin day? I'm not sure, you know. But if you look at it from a more crypto industry perspective, I think most of them are looking at another big hype, another big spike as well. So
For
if they
Dogecoin.
hope, maybe they will go up. But from a personal standpoint, I just hope that, you know, it can remain low and remain humble, you know, humble for the longer time. You know, that's how I see it.
Yeah, so in this industry, there's always this thing called the pump and dump. Means like we just keep pumping the money and the funds and the price high to the rocket high, and immediately right after a certain period of time, everyone just dump and the price just drop. So this is something that is pretty risky. Of course, we also want to actually have a little bit of a suspension. If you'd like to continue to know if Dogecoins will perform well, do watch out for our next show where we will review how this performance of the project goes, yeah? And right here, in fact, on the next slide itself is something quite funny. It's really all over the place. As you can see, like in New York itself, they have this like wow banner at the Wall Street itself talking about Dogecoin, and there's even like something called the Doge Millionaire Finds Love. It seems that money can buy love, huh? Nowadays. Do you agree?
No,
Your
no,
manager,
I don't think these are right association to cryptocurrency. You know, a rather big sized guy with a blonde lady on the screen right now, and with the big banner. You know, all these things are just a bad association to cryptocurrency, and you know, let's not be manipulated by the news. You know, because you know, there is a Dodge billionaire as well. You know, if you look closely. So, I think coming back to the point for media, coming back to the point for cryptocurrency is number one. Dogecoin is just a coin, any other coin. All right. Dogecoin did well. I'm really happy that they did well, and I think in the longer run they could do even better. All right. So let's look at it from that standpoint. But when I say do better, it doesn't mean that the price is doing better. I want to see more usage of the coin. You know, you go to ATM, you press a few buttons, the money comes out. You know, using Dogecoin to pay for your coffee. You know, use Dogecoin to buy your ETF. You know, that's what I meant by doing better. You know, price is just a number. You know, hype is just temporary, but the real substance behind the coin will be known and shown when you hit the real utility of the token, right? So that's what I see. You know, if you can see Doge or any other coin being used a lot more in the real life, you know, buying over a building, you know, you walk to the Mercedes showroom, you give them Dogecoin, they can accept, then I think that's very well, right? That's very fun as well. But if not, then it's just going to be a coin, you know. So you have to see this from a different perspective. Some people look at this more from a speculation standpoint. Some people look at it more from the, more from the pump and dump, also speculative but short-term standpoint. Some people look at the potential of the coin and they are willing to hold a longer time frame, you know. So try and be more balanced. Try and know what coin you're buying. Then you make a better informed decision. You know, don't buy blindly. Don't say your friend asks you to buy, you go and buy. That is not going to work for many of such investment-like kind of moves. You know, it's not going to work. So do your own research. Always do your own research.
Yeah, so actually that brings me to the next slide right here. Let's take a look at the screen. These are some of the things actually a lot of people will always ask about. What's the reality? What's the opportunity? And how do we evaluate or decide? Or is it a long-term thing and all that? So Andy, would you like to just give a quick summary about this before we jump on to the next topic for today?
Sure. Well, all these things can talk at least 2 hours. So
really?
So put it this way, you know, whether it's a hype or whether it's a reality or whether it's opportunity, it depends on how you look at it and where at which stage you are looking at it.
Yep.
So is it a hype for cryptocurrency and blockchain? No to me, but for those who do not understand, they might think that it's a hype.
Yeah.
Right now, at this current moment, 2021, the adoption of cryptocurrency is at all-time high. All right.
Yeah.
The blockchain technology itself is welcomed by the government. Blockchain technology itself is welcomed by the corporation, by the banks, and so forth. So, is it a hype? You can answer that question yourself, right? Second, what is the reality? So it depends on who you are. Are you an investor? You know, are you an accredited investor, or are you just a normal retail investor? You know, so if the real thing is there are money to be made, that's for sure, on a daily basis. You know, let's not talk about pump and dump. And to be honest, pump and dump happens in all kind of financial market. You know, stock exchange also pump and dump. But sometimes stock exchange or stocks, when they do pump and dump already, it will never spike up again. But maybe for cryptocurrency, you pray very hard. Well, maybe it may go up, right? But I'm not giving a financial advice, but I'm just telling you the trend that can happen. So the real fact is, yes, there's money to be made. There are also risks involved. There are also money that you might lose. So be very careful. Where are the opportunities? I think the opportunities are very straightforward. There's you look at the trend, right? So if you look at the trend properly, there's a DeFi, for example. There's NFTs. There are some of these layer 2 projects. There are some maybe Ethereum wannabe projects. they want to take over Ethereum, and that kind of a project. All these things are opportunities to me, right? If you believe in that particular project, you should research. And then if you think that that is the market gap that they can fulfill, for example, ABC chain can take over Ethereum, as good as Ethereum, as good liquidity as Ethereum, but the gas fee is almost zero. And if you believe that this is the way to go for the blockchain space in the longer run, then that is an opportunity, right? So think wisely, okay, please think wisely. How do you evaluate and decide what to invest? I think this takes a lot of skill, all right?
So they should hire advisors, yeah? Consultants.
Hire advisors, they all have their own agenda. So how do you evaluate this? I think, again, when you do your research, you have to do whatever you can for the who are the team members, what are some of the business logic behind the project. I think most importantly also, you should look at some of their on-chain activities. Don't look at what you see on the surface. On the surface, all those team members, maybe a few professional, ex-IBM, all those things. You got to do your own research. IBM as what? Receptionist or a managing director, for example. You got to do your research on that. You also have to see whether the team members, are they doing a lot of things? Are they credible or not? Then you also have to look at some of the on-chain activities, because some of these projects, I've met a few in Singapore. They say that, wow, they have a few million wallet means users, crypto wallet. Then I was checking all the transaction, and I realized that actually it's kind of a bluffer. So you got to make your own check properly on chain, make and do checks that you can authenticate as well on chain. All right. So is crypto a good and long-term investment? Very difficult to answer. I think it is a good long-term investment in my opinion, but it might not be for many. But if you are willing to hold on to a certain coin that is popular and you think that the concept and the business logic is there, holding it for the next 10 years, I do believe that the coin price will increase. That's how I see it. So long-term investment-wise, on good projects will be good. What should I do if I get into a scam investment? Call the police. Okay? So I think that is the most important thing. Call the police. Because if you go to the fella's office and so forth, you might not find anything. Because if you look very carefully in the 2017 all the way until 2019, a lot of these crypto companies claim that they are from Singapore. All right? But then if you look closely to their website, how they do their punctuation, how they write their English, 100% not written by Singaporean, because the Singlish element is not there, right? So 100% you cannot get back your investment. In Singapore, there are also companies that overpromise people, give a false investment outlook and projection and so forth. I cannot name who. Some of them, they have their own building as well. So are those scams? I think those are somewhat scam in my own category. If you think that you are caught in a scam, please call the police, especially those in Singapore. Do not get yourself into a multi-level Ponzi scheme. If anyone can offer you things like you put $1 or put $1,000, by the end of the week become $5,000, then you can forget about it, because Warren Buffett also cannot do that. So please don't believe in this kind of scam. If you are greedy, buy 4D. All right, don't get into crypto. All right. Last question: should I invest into crypto? How do I buy it? I think investing into crypto, small amount that you can lose, I think it is worth to try. Not financial advice again. So my answer to you is yes, but there are other ways that you can get crypto for free. By doing tasks, by doing work, by getting airdrops and so forth. Just go to the Telegram group, get your own bounty, get your own rewards. Those are free crypto. Do you think getting free crypto is good? Of course it's good, because you are just using your time to exchange for some token. If the token is good, that's good. If the token is not good, then it's not good. This is a very straightforward and hardworking manner. All right, so this kind of route, I think you can take it. All right, those that you have to put 1,000 become 10,000, those don't take it. All right, because nobody can give you that kind of return on investment within a week. All right, so how do I buy it? Wow. So for those coins that are listed, you can buy it from the exchanges. All right. How you're going to buy it, who you're going to buy it from, is your own choice. The top few, in the world, it would be Binance, OKEX, Huobi, Coinbase, Gemini, for example. So these are all the more reputable ones. You can buy it from them. How do you buy it? You can use your credit card. You could use your credit card, or you could do some kind of a wallet transaction, transferring from your bank account to the wallet, and you can buy the cryptocurrency. Very straightforward. There's restriction, there's limitation. Bear with it. That limitation and to your transfer is actually a good thing. Because if you are new, they only let you transfer X amount of dollars. Just invest that X amount of dollars. Do not be greedy. Do not overspend. Okay, how do I buy? The same question I would also answer. In Singapore, there are a lot of people, have their own project and they want to sell the token, to you, normally to family, friends, and all those things. If you want to lose a friend or you want to lose a family member, you can try buying from them. But my take is those are very risky projects. So you have to understand that if something goes wrong, it's 100% loss, then it's 100% loss. That one you call your police also no use, because there's agreement to it. So please be careful. Buy from the right source. Do not go for overhyped projects. If you hear the person that's selling you the tokens in Singapore from another auntie, another uncle, and then they bring you to another group, sit together and talk about the project, then you can walk away, because all these projects are not viable. All right, so you have to really look through the whole project, ask them for their white paper, look at their website, do the research that I've told you about. Then you make the decision whether you want to buy it or not. Because all those private sale, private buy, and so forth, buy already might never list, or maybe you have to wait for 5 years, then it will list. By then, opportunity cost is there. Ethereum price might be already 5,000, 10,000. There's definitely loss. So please make sure that you do not get yourself into those scammy projects. Go for things that are more reputable. If you are new, and you still want to be God of Gambler, for example, then you got to bear your own risk, because all these risks are very high. All right? That's how I see it.
I like the last one, God of Gamble, 赌神呀 in Chinese.
Correct.
Okay, so just now we have actually mentioned about things like Warren Buffett. I would like to also bring you to the attention to the screen right here, where just this week itself, okay, for those who are not familiar, actually we do have this AGM that's happening right in US itself, where Warren Buffett's company was doing this AGM, and during some of the question and answer, right, the partner of Warren Buffett actually mentioned things like very, very negative comments about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency and all that. And he himself actually says that this is actually something that is a disgrace in the market. So what do you think? Why are some of the people who are so reputable in the market space, they are not even touching any forms of alternative investment, and they are so against stuff like that?
Okay.
What's your thought, Andy?
Well, when the news first came out, the first thing that comes to my mind is I like to thank Charlie for being such a good sport, putting Bitcoin onto the headline of most of the regional papers and so forth, because I think he mentioned things like it's disgusting, his view on Bitcoin is quite bad and so forth. But for those who are following me on Twitter and LinkedIn and so forth, I place a funny comment as well. Whatever that he is talking about, seems like he's referring to USD. Yeah, you know, you know what disgusting. You know, you can have like unlimited money and so forth. It seems like he's talking about USD. I mean, it was meant to be a joke, you know, on my account, but you know, there's some truth behind the joke, you know. So how a legend, you know, like Charlie and Warren, you know, why they see Bitcoin as such and offered a slightly different view to us, or at least to me, I think it is a good thing, because if everyone say Bitcoin is good, everyone thinks that Bitcoin is going to be 100,000, then what's the fun behind it, right? So you need to have people who give a different view, you know, that will start off a new set of conversation, you know, that will also start to get people thinking, you know, because the two gentlemen there, you know, might not be 100% correct, you know. From the day one they mentioned about Bitcoin, like JP Morgan and things like that, you know, they talk about Bitcoin as trash, you know, back then, but right now, they are getting themselves into it.
They're launching their own coin.
Morgan
JP Morgan.
Stanley,
Yeah.
you know, everybody is getting into it. So I think you can't avoid the fact that Bitcoin has grown. All right, you can think that it's disgusting because you forgot to place your bet on it in the earlier days. I can understand that, but if you are saying that Bitcoin is going to be useless, Bitcoin is going to be zero and things like that, I have not seen any good telltale sign that it's going to be that. You know, so again, coming back to the point where I said earlier, is that we should all thank him for putting Bitcoin onto the headline, you know, every now and then. You know.
Yeah, and I did see very sarcastic things like he mentioned that, of course, I hate Bitcoin's success. Okay, I should say modestly that I think the whole damn development is disgusting and contrary to the interest of civilization. So I think we are.
That's USD. I'm quite sure. That's USD. Yeah.
Because USD can be printing and printing and printing.
Correct. I mean,
it's supposed to be backed by gold, but it seems like.
I love USD to be very frank, you know. But the fact that, you know, in US, you know, big country, Silicon Valley is very developed. You know, a lot of new blockchain concepts and the new way you play the whole coin, you know, it also came from US or China or South Korea and so forth. I think, you know, the development is there already. You know, the interest from the retail investors and the institutions are there already. You know, having him say all these things right now might not be appropriate, you know, for people of his level, you know. But take it a pinch of salt, because what is said, you know. I think bad publicity is also publicity. So what they are doing is a great job, you know, for people to know more about Bitcoin. Those people who disagree with him all this while for what he have done might switch to Bitcoin, because since Charlie disagree and think that it's disgusting, I think it could be a good thing, right? So there might be other effects, you know, from what they have said so far. So don't take it too hard, you know. It's just like how you look at the Dogecoin media play just now with the man and the blonde, you know. All these are just media play, you know. We should not be manipulated by what the media or US media are trying to portray, you know. What they have said rightfully did not make too much of a dent to the whole cryptocurrency world, did not make much dent to the Bitcoin as well. So it's okay. Just let them be happy. Talk more, you know.
Yeah, in fact, it's actually going to the different way. And in fact, right after the news comes out, Ethereum hits the high of 3,000 plus, and today itself is at a rocking high of 3,400 US dollars. Okay, and for those who are not familiar with the company, and actually Buffett owns this company called Hathaway. It started as an insurance company in the US, and later on they moved into things like healthcare, and they also have like infrastructure investment and many types of big fund. This fund is something a little bit similar, like an actively managed fund itself, like unit trust and also ETF, where Charlie is actually one of the partner of, I would say, the very great Warren Buffett. He actually say this thing: since I never buy any gold, I never buy any Bitcoin. It sounded like he don't actually also believe in gold. What do you think about gold investment? Gold investment has been like very popular in the market space because it's like asset, it's something that is physical, you can see it. Why is even the partner of Warren Buffett so against about gold?
Well, I think there's a lot of other corporate agenda and personal agenda to that statement. You know, to me, I think gold has proven itself for a long time. You know, the market cap is also very high. You know, so again, you know, all this is a preference. You know, whether they like gold, they want silver, or they are going to stock. All these are preference. It depends on how much asset they have. If they are heavy in stock, you know, they might think that maybe gold is not good, Bitcoin is not good. You know, there's a lot of agenda, you know, personal agenda to that. So I think my comment is this: you know, it is not too late to rethink that Bitcoin might not be as worthless as you thought. You know, it has proven itself in the last 3 years in terms of the growth, and for gold as well. You know, they have a big supporter, and it has been around for decades. So please, I think let's be more realistic and do not be played by the media. You know.
All right, so let's end off today's session about sharing about this thing which is called Bitcoin's worthless and artificial gold. Okay, so we have the good thing and we have the bad thing about everything. So I would say that actually these are all information for you to consider on what is the next step you'd like to do in your investing journey. So right now, actually, wow, Andy, actually I have like 14 comments. Yeah, I believe everyone is so excited. Let's take a look at the screen once again. We're actually giving out $5 worth of the item. It can be actually things like in the space of a gift voucher or a cryptocurrency that we're giving out for free for you. It's like a bounty that we're giving you, airdrop, which is a free gift for you. If you'd like to get yourself a prize, what you need to do is just to answer the question and throw in the question where Andy will actually be answering it. So Andy, how about this? Let me just pick some of the question. Do you want to pick it instead? Or I pick it?
I think you pick it.
Okay, I'll do the picking. I'll start off with the last one first, okay, the one that supported us the longest time. Right here, first one, okay. So it's actually asking that, what do you think about the hype of DeFi now? Is it a short trend or will it be what it keeps the crypto market strong in the long run?
I think right now the DeFi trend is fairly obvious. You know, it is here to stay. You know, unlike some of my friends back then think that, you know, DeFi is going to crash, right? I think it is here to stay. You know, some of the lending protocol are doing very well. You know, I hope to see more products in the DeFi space like bond, ETFs, and other financial baskets. So I think my quick answer is DeFi will continue to grow. You know, DeFi will continue to also grow on the Ethereum chain, continue to grow on the Binance Smart Chain, and also a few other possible candidates like Polkadot, you know, and so forth. I think, yes, this is my short answer.
Okay, so the next thing is about DeFi. What do you think of the current Solana ecosystem? Wow, this is terminology. I don't really understand this. So what is this all about?
Solana is picking up steam, definitely. I think that's also with the good support from SBF, from FTX. I think he has done a fantastic job in pushing this new chain up. So I think their perspective is fairly future. I think it will continue to grow as well for the ecosystem. In fact, I think they are doing slightly better in terms of the news and execution comparing to Polkadot. So I see that they are into a high growth area. So DeFi on them should also be a high growth opportunity, right? That's how I see it as well.
Okay, so last one that actually someone has asked right here. Do you think that crypto is a hype?
Crypto is definitely a hype. That's for sure. It is being hyped up right now as we talk. But when we talk about hype, I see crypto as a hype with good substance for certain crypto, all right? Like I've mentioned in the earlier portion of the show, if the cryptocurrency itself is a good cryptocurrency with usage, I think that hype is well supported, and that's a good hype. A bad hype is where things are purely Ponzi. They say they are blockchain, but they are not blockchain. They say they are cryptocurrency, they are not. Those are bad hype. So I hope that also clears up some of the misconception, in the market.
Okay, so for the last two questions, later on we'll be answering it due to time constraint. So we'll be throwing out the prizes to all of you. Do stay tuned in the page and we will contact you directly, okay? So right here, we have come to almost the end of the program. But beforehand, if you still have questions that you'd like to actually ask Mr. Andy or the program founders and all that, what you could do is to always email to us and we will be prompting our reply to you as soon as we can. So at the end of the program right here, actually, we would like to once again share about the disclaimer. So do take note that right here we are not exactly promoting anything. All the things that we are sharing right here are for information only. So with the end of the program right here, before we actually end off the show, Andy, would you like to share with me one more round, like what do you think about Wisdom Eye on business and how business owners and dear Singaporeans right here or people globally who are thinking to come into Singapore can leverage on blockchain and cryptocurrency as a form of their money mastery journey?
Sure. For projects who are coming to Singapore or for project owners in Singapore who wants to work on blockchain, I still want to say the same thing. You need to have a strong business logic and you have to replay all the different scenarios within your own core team and from yourself. Make sure that this project or this possible gap that you have identified will really make you do well. If you are thinking of just coming out to be another wallet project or another certificate authentication project or the ability to do tracking and so forth, then you can forget about it because there's no unique selling point to it. So you have to have the unique selling point and a strong logic to support you, and you have to have a good mindset. You have to have that good foresight and futurist thought, for your project. If you have all this, I think you can do it. The Singapore government, has been very supportive for technology-related adoption. Same goes for blockchain. So you can tap on them as well, but do not 100% depend on them. You have to depend on yourself. Singapore government is best to be there to help, to enable you, but not to handhold you all the way. So your business idea would go a lot further if you have a strong idea to back this up. So please come to Singapore, talk to our government, talk to the different association, and talk to the different business owner, because all these three parties will have a different opinion, and they will bring you more insights for your business. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, and definitely with such a great ecosystem right here in Singapore, I believe that Singapore definitely will be one of the Asia's largest blockchain and cryptocurrency platform as well, with so many government initiatives and also so many people like our expert right here coming forward to grow Singapore as the Asia's limelight. Okay, so with that right here, we'd like to thank all of you for being here and to tune into this program. And of course, for the next session itself, if you'd like to find out more on how you would like to buy a prop property, but not owning a property, looking into something that can give you monthly or quarterly dividend, do watch this space because we're going to be talking about things like called the real estate investment trust. So with that, thank you so much once again, Andy. It's really our honor to have you right here, being here in Singapore to actually grace us and of course to give us a lot of good feedback. And if you do have questions, feel free to always find Andy on LinkedIn, I believe, on all your platforms as well, right?
Sure, I'm quite searchable, so just search for me.
Just Andy Lian will do.
Correct.
All right. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. We hope to see you in the next episode itself. Right here, I'm Hui Jie, and this is Andy. We are signing off. Thank you, and good night.
Bye.